the city of Townieville. Hi guys, I'm Marticore, and today I will be sharing with you some little work in progress that I've been doing lately in my spare time. Remember when I said at the Genesis that if I ever do like a Townies Stories kind of thing, then Alvin Fura will be Brandy Letourneau's son? Well, he is, and I made an entire town of like Townie Stories. I know Pleasant Sims technically did something like that, something similar, I guess. And I actually thought that was kind of cool because I really like the original Townies. They've been there forever, like since day one, since the game was launched, and they are just iconic creatures. And the Pleasant View Townies also appear in any new town that you create, so it's really easy to like have them in the game, you know? Also in my Genesee Legacy, of course, those Townies are there, and I like to use them. So I opened a document and started to like try to figure out which kids should be whose for the genetics to match and all that stuff, because there are a few teenagers and a few children also amongst Townies, so I figured it out, I guess, kinda, and I made it into a town of 13 families, I believe. So I'm showing you an unfinished project. It's hardly even to like be called a project because I won't be going that much into detail when it comes to memories of The Sims, for example, because it was supposed to be fun, not hard work, you know? I still have a lot to do though, and I wanted to show you this kind of like halfway through stage, so that you can actually like tell me if you'd like me to share it, because I was planning to share it, but also you could tell me if there's maybe something that the town is lacking, because I tend to forget things a lot. Like I have to really focus when furnishing houses for every family to have a phone, a sink, and a trash can. But yeah, I will be showing you the families. I also ran the game, not completely vanilla, but without any defaults and without a lot of mods, just to, you know, like refresh it a little bit. And just so you know, there is also a house here, and there is also a house here. And of course, some names had to disappear because, for example, Orlando Bertino is Kennedy Cox and Melissa Fancy's son, so his name is Cox. And you might wonder why Chandler is even here, because he's a redhead with green eyes, but there is an explanation to that in the family tree and Melissa's contacts, but not everything is finished yet. So I won't be really going that much in depth with memories, but the Sims will have like necessary memories so that, I don't know, they don't have the very first woohoo when they have 2 kids, you know, that were not adopted. Because I was trying to make the genetics match. And I think the first family that I will show you is this. These 2 guys will be dead at the start, but I just want to show you what I did here. This will be Bendette Letourneau, because they are supposed to be 2 best friends, widowed women who just live together with their kids, you know, like in this big ranch. Of course, the house is not furnished yet. I actually have quite a lot to do still. Furnish most of the houses, build 1 community lot, a convenience store where you can buy pretty much anything. But for both houses and community lots, I actually used things from the bin because I think that's appropriate for a town like that. So you will see a lot of familiar houses and lots. I will also have to go in SimPE and fix some things and write bios for every sim and every family, at least for every family. I'm not sure if I will be writing bios for every single sim, I'm sorry. As I said, it was supposed to be fun. This is not like I created a town project. It's just like an idea. I figured that since Marissa has blonde hair and dark blue eyes like Meadow, not everyone has changed names yet, but Thayer is actually a name of a street, and also Bertino is a name of a street. You know, just in memory of those names that will disappear. And also Sophie Miguel actually has the same face template as Marissa. I figured they could be her daughters, but they needed a father that would match those genetics, so their father is here. His name is Letourneau, but I will change his name to Bendette because I created both fathers at once. So he has Meadow's face template and green eyes, brown hair, dark skin, so that it looks as if, you know, they had children. It could be Meadow and it could be Sophie. Even though the sisters look very, very different, you know, they don't really share any of the features. So, you know, these are townies, so they just use like typical face templates, and five Sims have Mary Lena Hamilton's face, because it's Melissa Fancy, Chandler Platts, Orlando Bertino, and Ivy Kapoor the teen. So yeah, that's a lot. I saw some patterns that I could use so that I could actually make those townies into families, and I thought that was a really cool idea. The widows also were widowed at the same time because like their husbands were friends and they, I don't know, died in the same satellite accident or whatever. And they just kind of like bonded even more over that or something like that. So this is Ryan Letourneau. The name has a reason, but if you know, you know. Yeah, since Brandy here is the mother of Alvin Fiura, who has a different eye color than she does. He has light blue eyes, so the father also has light blue eyes. And Chloe Gonzaga, so I made him have the same face template as Chloe has. I am pretty sure this is the one. I was really searching for it to make sure. Okay, I just now realized that he shouldn't have skin this dark because Alvin is lighter than his mom. He has skin 1, so I guess I will be changing that for him. I made him have the medium skin because it kind of matches his face template, I guess. But yeah, I can just change that. That's not a problem. Yeah, work in progress, you know. So Chloe has gray eyes, so she could easily, like in colors, she could totally be Brandy Letourneau's daughter. The only thing that she needed is the face. So like this will be filled with very typical cases of genetics in The Sims 2. Except that some kids will be blonde even though one of their parents has brown hair. I will also give them recessive genes so that they're not homozygous anymore. But what I wanted to say is that, you know, the typical case of genetics, which is colors from one parent and the whole face from the other parent, since they are all face templates, it does kind of look like that. Especially in the Gilles-Carbo family. Oh, I also forgot to say that I didn't export the townies and recreate them in cast. I didn't do that because I wanted them to have all of the clothing that they originally had, and I would have to also set their personalities again from scratch. That would be so much freaking work. I can't even imagine. So I just, you know, like made one sim who is a townie now, and I just added them to household, and yeah, like I did all of that with mods, like Inseminators in Blender. So that's also why memories aren't really a priority here, because they weren't made in cast, they were just added into family, so they don't have memories of their children being born and stuff like that. So here we have 2 houses from the bin, of course. This shouldn't be Kapoor. I will change the names. You know, I was like moving people back and forth and it got messed up. But yeah, these are 2 almost identical houses, but one of them is a different color than the other, and that's pretty much like inside they also differ. So this is the Tellerman family, and this is also the Tellerman family because there's Comey here. Hi there. And I figured that since Comey and Jan have 2 things in common, which is their name, first of all, and second, their eye color. So I guess they could just totally be siblings, right? So since Brittany here has the same face as, as Christy, and the same colors as Comey, then again, she could just be their daughter. But yeah, I wanted to show you the Gilles-Carbo family and the ultimate case of typical Sims 2 genetics. Ivy Kapoor, well, Ivy Gilles-Carbo really, has Mary Lena's face, but Goopy's color because he has black hair and dark blue eyes. So, like, they totally look like a family. Except that Goopy doesn't have the strongest chemistry with Marilena because I tweaked it a little, you know, like I changed their turn-ons and turn-offs and just to like match them a little bit better. But it's not crazy chemistry because she's a family sim and he's a romance sim. But it's like an interesting dynamic, I guess. It's like she would wanna have another kid and he is terrified of it, you know? I think I will make a story here that even though the family aspiration kind of makes me think of like a traditional kind of family, that maybe they had Ivy before they got married, you know, that it just happened and Goopy just went with it and wanted to like provide for the family and be a decent man, but still he kind of wanders, you know. But I think I will really like this family. Like, it's not anything too original, I guess, but he is a lieutenant level 7, and it's just the career that he had. For some townies, I had to change careers because, well, still no one works in medicine, and actually the hospital is like the biggest building in here, and the whole town revolves around this hospital, I guess. Also, this address is called Hospital Road. I think I can even show you that. Yeah, so someone definitely needs to work in medicine. I still have to like figure out who, but some of the careers were actually bugged and the game wasn't showing anything. Like they technically worked somewhere, but it was super glitched out. So I changed careers for almost every sim, and also their randomized skills were all the same. I changed them, but I am pretty sure that every single sim had 7 creativity points. And all of their skills were very similar. I didn't like that. It was probably due to the glitched careers because the game didn't know what skills they needed for their career, you know, because normally it matches. So it just happened because of a glitch, I guess. But yeah, like I figured it out. It's fine. Everyone has like a career that kind of makes sense for them, I guess. Except that Marilena is in SWAT because that's what she had from the start. And maybe, you know, maybe they connected at work because they are both in the police. So yeah, I think that could actually make sense. Also, I think they will have less money at the beginning. Even though like they have a small house, but it's like a kind of like a little townhouse, like made of stone and everything. So the furniture is also a little bit fancier than in the other houses. So even though the house is small, it's not really that cheap. So they are kind of like middle class, I guess. Abhijit and Ivy Kapoor are just roommates. Just like Ivy has this house and she invited a roommate to live with her, and that's it. This family is called Freeman from the original Townie that I made to like summon all these townies, but their name will be Santowski actually, because they're poor. I chose the name Santowski over Cormier, Ricky Cormier, yeah, just for that reason, because they are 2 brothers living together as teenagers, just teenagers. They don't have any parents. They are just trying to get by. My take on this is that Ricky is already 18, so he just takes care of his younger brother after their parents died or neglected them or whatever. Like you won't see it in the family tree because they're just siblings. Also, if you want to make Sims just siblings without any parents, it's kind of hard to do with Inseminator. I'm not sure if Sim Blender even has an option like that, but I think with both it doesn't show in the family tree when you do that. So best is to take a random sim and make this sim their parent, just temporarily. Then you can sever family ties and the parent will not be there anymore, but they will be siblings in the family tree. So yeah, like that's a trick you can do to do it without the parents, so that it looks as if you made siblings in CAS. So there's also this apartment building where there are 4 families, and one of them I think I will have to change the name of. This is pretty much the only building I built from scratch, except the pool. Yeah, the pool was also built by me. I actually used this, originally built this in a different neighborhood of mine that is a very private save that I don't really share with anyone. But I saved it before I moved anyone in there so I could reuse it. So yeah, so this is like in the middle you have 2 single bedrooms, really small apartments, and on the sides there are like 2-story houses with 2 bedrooms. So it's really good for just like parents and a kid, but it's also very, very much on a budget. So yeah, so here we have the Lillard family, which is Brandon and Tosha Lillard, I guess, and they are siblings, actually. I didn't make them father and daughter. They have the same face template, that's why I connected them. They look very different, I guess, but they have the same face, so that's fine. And since she's a teenager already, I figured they could just be siblings, just to make it a little bit different than the others. There's the Hogan family, since Amanda, again, has the same face as Randy. I made them mother and son. The Carr family, that I think will be the Sims family, is Joe and Marsha. Marsha has the same face again, but also she has very similar colors to him, so she could totally be his daughter. So in these families, there isn't a backstory like in the widow's household. The other parent will just not be in the family tree. It's like for Amanda, I think the story will be that she doesn't know who Randy's father even is. That it was just like a thing that she had, and she just had a son because of that, and it's fine. She's super happy that she has a son, actually. And it doesn't really matter who the father is. For Joe, I think the story will be that that the mother of Marsha will that she just like disappeared. That she ran away or something. It will all be said in their bios. Sandy Broody just lives alone in an apartment. She is also one of the singles. I mean, there are a lot of single Sims, but some of them have kids, Actually, I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, here again, I use the trick to make them siblings in the family tree. Oh, this is the original Townie. Dayton Freeman, yeah. Okay, this uses CC floors. That's good to know. I will have to change that. Yeah, because I built it for myself, and now that I am not using custom content, yeah, I will definitely have to fix this. That's fine. Yeah, I especially wanted to do that to see if something disappears that I can replace before sharing this with other people. So, yeah, this is just like a house. Nothing too special. And this apartment here is just like a pretty big living room with a kitchen and a bathroom and a bedroom. And that's it. Like perfect for a single sim or a young marriage without kids and stuff like that. Oh yeah, there is this thing that Brandon actually doesn't like his sister very much. He is forced to take care of her, but he's not happy with it because he just wants to get some, This is the landlady. Very nice. Some townies were generated because of this building, because I have a mod that makes just regular townies move in the apartment buildings, and I didn't make it to move in everyone right away so that the townies wouldn't generate. So I think there are like, there will be like 4 townies in here, just so you can adopt a baby, Originally, I was planning to actually make 2 townies. A woman and a man. And the other townie that I was planning to make was Nerissa B, because there is this clothing store. Yeah, Nerissa's own clothing store. So I will just make this person because I think that's funny. So there is also the Sims family. They live up on a hill in the uplifting loft. I didn't even give it an address because the name of that house was just perfect. First of all, Amin is Joe's brother. They have exactly the same colors and even both of them have, I am pretty sure they have red eyebrows. Brown hair, but red eyebrows. Also, they might have broken genetics. Definitely Brandy has, and this is something that I will also fix, along with giving them recessive genes. Are these really red eyebrows? Or is your skin just so dark? No, these are brown eyebrows. But Joe has red eyebrows, right? I am not sure. But anyway, they have the same colors, so I just thought, sure, they can totally be brothers. But Amin's career, like randomized career, was criminal mastermind. And I was like, okay, we are going with this. So Joe doesn't have the best situation financially. He has a daughter and he is trying to provide for her, but he's kind of struggling with it, you know? They actually live in this small apartment, you know, the one that I said that is for a single sim or a marriage without kids, but he lives there with a daughter because he just doesn't have the money for anything bigger. And his brother is pretty rich, but he doesn't want his dirty money. You know, even though Joe is a fortune sim. But yeah, when I was like progressing with all of this, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense for Ammon to be a criminal mastermind, actually. And he just lives somewhere outside of the town with his fiance, Benjamin Cox. Not Benjamin Long, Benjamin Cox, yes. Because Benjamin is Kennedy's brother. They share a face template, so sure. I mean, they also share a face template with Amin, but let's ignore that. So I am kind of thinking that Benjamin will have some doubts. It's kind of like, you know, he likes a bad boy, but isn't this too far? And maybe Amin will change his way and stop being a criminal and like get a decent job or something. It's all up to you and me, because I will probably be playing here. I hope, because that was the original idea, to just have some fun with it and actually progress this town a little bit. I am even considering making this a series, but I am not sure on which channel yet, so and also this is like for the future, I guess. I kind of like this house. I think for a single sim who is rather rich and just lives alone, I think this is like a very nice loft to have. Oh, there will be a lake beach in this town as well, because there's like a tiny piece of water in here. This is the Sedona template. So originally it's for desert, I guess, but it actually looks really nice in lush. It kind of makes me think of Ireland, even though I consider this to be somewhere in the United States, of course. Yeah, like this screams the green, like, hills of UK, you know? And there's a nice train going by here on the mountain. There is a more rural area in here outside the town, and just some forests. So when it comes to community lots, we have a bistro here, so like a really small restaurant. There's game space that I also built from scratch. Oh yeah, that's another one. This is also a lot that I am using in my private save. So this is like an arcade kind of thing. A very nice place to use the visitor controller and set it for teenagers only, so that teens can meet each other. Planetary Pet Park changed into a planetary park. I edited it a little to add some more like general park things. There's a clothing store, there is a pet store, a pool, there will be a convenience store where you can buy groceries and magazines and like everything pretty much, except clothes, because you can also buy clothes at the pool, because you can buy a bathing suit and just go and swim in it, you know? And there is also a graveyard, because there will be 2 dead Sims in here, so we need a graveyard. So that's it. Let me know if you'd like to play in this tiny project, and if maybe I forgot about a certain community lot or something to place in here. Also tell me if you've ever thought of it this way, like, you know, this guy has these colors and this lady has this face template, so maybe this teen could be their daughter. I love doing that, like I had a whole document for it. So when it's finished, I'm not sure how I will tell you, maybe in the community tab and pinning a comment under this video, or maybe I will just make another video. I don't know. I just thought that it would be refreshing to actually show you something that I haven't finished yet, just to get some motivation and inspiration out of it, because there's still work to do. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!